My name's Adam Hurley. I live in Humboldt County, Fortuna, California. This is my PointGuard system. Yeah, I've done my research. I know the game. I know the industry. I know the products, and so there was a making sure I understand what was best for me specifically, because salespeople are not always selling for the greatness of the customer, which is kind of unfortunate. And it's what I highlight is specifically is to make sure that I understand what's the best need for the customer. And when I think when people got lost into trying to make sure that the numbers made sense, they lost the value of what the product does. And so when I go into situations and why I picked PointGuard specifically was because of the value that it brought, not because it was the cheapest in the industry. You get what you pay for, right? I mean, that's the ironclad saying. And so I took that to heart. I did my research, and with the competitive pricing that it still has in the industry as a whole, it was really good, but also the features that it had was above pretty much everybody in regards to like what it can offer you for manageability. I'm the geeky tech guy that likes to make sure I'm managing it, right? And so if I have more tools to manage it, I feel like I got a cooler toy than the next guy. And so I've actually seen that in real time where someone doesn't have PointGuard and we compare our apps and our monitoring systems, and they usually finish with a wow, and so it is really cool to have gotten something that's more robust and is still incredibly competitive in costs. So that's why we went with PointGuard specifically, and that's why I like to offer it to my customers. I mean, it's sleek, it's sexy, it's low profile. I went with the full stack that they offer, and so it is taller than some, but I mean, in the grand scheme of it, I think some of the features I liked is that it had the ability to go back here without any extra cost, because the wiring doesn't take that heavy DC wire back. So with that in mind, like, I had the ability to put it in a place that was ideal for me and not ideal for, let's say, the installer. Sometimes they have to have it near the meter as close as possible to alleviate costs. It wasn't the case here. So if there was a preferred area, which I like to have it to where I got glowing lights, I don't want someone on the street to feel like it's a cool toy for them to come take a look at their leisure. So I put it in the back here, which was ideal. Kids love it. They see it. It's not cheap. So it's pretty durable and does its thing. And so I hardly notice it. I actually love it more because I can see it from my kitchen. It lights up all night. And I'm like, heck yeah. Just a friendly reminder that it's still kicking butt. And so, yeah, I love it. I love the way it looks. Its durability. The light features, no one has it. It just looks better. Honestly, it just looks better than everyone else. Yeah, the modular feature is huge because like you don't have to feel like you're chasing something all today, knowing that you're gonna have a customer down the road if the needs change, right? And so like it just goes back to making sure that you're talking to the customer on what their needs are, and it doesn't feel like you're pressuring them into something that they don't need. And so it makes my job more of a consultant. Like, let's talk about what your needs are. But like other battery modules that might just be one unit, if something goes bad or stops producing to the high capacity, you got to replace the whole thing. It's like in this case, we can just add more modules to what's already existed, not feel like what you already put investment into is worthless, which is another key factor. It's like, yeah, if there's ever a lack of production 15 years down the road, we can add another stack at your leisure, or if there's just more desire, we just add more. I just happened to start with the big boy out the gates because I knew the value, right? It's there. So yeah, it's nice because you can size it accordingly, because not every system is the same size with the same need, and so to be able to slow roll it or size it accordingly, I mean, it just makes it really user friendly to get it right? Another cool feature that the PointGuard offers that is super exciting is the ability to shed certain loads if there is an outage, right? If an outage happens, it will notify me on my app. Not only will it notify me, but it'll tell me that maybe I have more loads than I should on at that time. For instance, circuits, like, oh, my electric vehicle is still plugged in. I better shade that from the luxury of my couch or from work or from wherever I'm at when that outage happens. So it gives me like remote manageability to shed loads so that I have longevity with the outage protection. So if I know that maybe a storm's upon us, right, like it is today, and let's say a power outage goes out, well, I'm probably not gonna see the sun for a little while. So I wanna manage those loads by reducing what's actually being ran by this guy. So it's just the bare essentials if I need it to go longer than anticipated. So whether it's just the fridge and the basic lights, or if it's gonna be for a few hours, then it's not a big deal. I can keep all my loads on and everything will be just fine. That kind of manageability is very, very unique in the industry. PointGuard offers that to be able to do straight from the app with their load hub, where it's all managed directly through there. So it's super, super fun feature that I get to showcase to the customer and say, hey, listen, from the luxury of your bed. You don't have to get out and make sure that the circuits are off. Just like, oh my gosh, honey, circuits or the power's out. Let's turn these young things off and let's see how it goes in the morning. Really, really cool feature. And then the other features, I mean, this thing has a feature where it has a fire extinguisher in it if it hits a certain temperature. I mean, no one has that. I mean, how many stories have you heard of cars burning on the freeway because the battery combusted or something like that? It's like just that peace of mind alone, knowing that the features in there is so nice. You know, the bi-directional charging aspect that it's going to be having, it's like, these are cool features. And the fact that we can upload new software to it remotely and it will continuously get better over time. It's like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really is uncomparable when you're talking about side-by-side options. And if all you're selling is dollar amount, you're not selling. You're not selling. You're just presenting. You're not doing it right, because people shouldn't be making decisions on number and cost amount. Truthfully, if they understand what solar is doing to peace of mind, their kids, longevity, you know, inflation proofing, investment increases, like it really is endless in regards to what solar does, but not only that, what PointGuard accompanies solar with. Yeah.